You've probably heard it your whole life. Make sure you eat 3 full meals a day, especially as you get older. It sounds like unbreakable health wisdom, the kind of advice parents and grandparents have passed down for generations. But what if that advice, applied without thought or context, is actually speeding up the aging process in your body? Today, we're going to take a careful, science-based look at that question. And the answer might genuinely surprise you. Before we go any further, an important note. Nothing in today's video is a recommendation to starve yourself or skip meals recklessly. If you have an existing medical condition, if you're underweight, or if you're currently managing a chronic illness, please speak with your doctor before changing any eating habits. What we're discussing today is for generally healthy, older adults who want to understand the science behind aging and nutrition more deeply. Here's something worth knowing first. The concept of eating 3 meals every single day is not as ancient as it seems. In traditional agricultural societies, 2 meals a day was the norm. The widespread adoption of 3 daily meals happened largely after industrialization, a shift that's less than 200 years old. Our bodies evolved over thousands of years in environments where periods without food were completely normal. Yet today, many of us eat not just 3 meals, but add snacks between every meal, meaning we're introducing food into our bodies 5, 6, or even more times a day. Why does frequency matter so much? Every time you eat, your body releases insulin, the hormone responsible for moving glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. Insulin is essential and beneficial, but when it's released repeatedly throughout the day, without adequate rest between meals, something problematic begins to happen. Your cells gradually become less responsive to insulin signals. This is called insulin resistance, and it's one of the most significant risk factors for type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, fatty liver, and critically accelerated aging. There's meaningful Korean research on this point. A large cohort study tracked more than 4,500 adults between the ages of 40 and 69 over an average of 10.5 years. The finding was nuanced. Those who ate 3 or more meals regularly showed approximately 12% lower insulin resistance risk compared to those who ate fewer. But this benefit was associated with regular, well-timed meals, not constant grazing throughout the day. The distinction matters enormously. Now let's talk about something that may be the most exciting discovery in aging science in recent decades. In 2016, a Japanese scientist received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for his work on a process called autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating, but think of it as your body's cellular deep cleaning system. When your cells activate autophagy, they break down and recycle damaged proteins, dysfunctional organelles, and cellular debris that accumulate over time. This damaged material is connected to conditions like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and many aging-related illnesses. Autophagy essentially takes out the cellular garbage and converts it into usable energy and building materials. Here is the crucial connection to your eating habits. Autophagy activates most powerfully during fasting. When you eat, insulin rises, and a cellular growth pathway called mTOR switches on. When mTOR is active, autophagy is suppressed. When you haven't eaten for 12 to 16 or more hours, insulin drops, mTOR quiets down, and autophagy begins its work. If you are eating from early morning through late at night, breakfast, snacks, lunch, more snacks, dinner, and an evening nibble, your body almost never gets the quiet time. It needs to clean itself out at the cellular level. Timing is the other half of this equation. Research consistently shows that the same food eaten at different times of day produces different metabolic responses. Insulin sensitivity is higher in the morning and decreases toward evening. One study found that people who had their first meal before 8:30 in the morning had meaningfully lower insulin resistance than those who ate later. Eating a large, carbohydrate-heavy meal late at night triggers an insulin spike at the exact time your body's metabolic machinery is slowing down for sleep, making it much harder to process that food efficiently. Late-night eating also directly disrupts sleep quality. Growth hormone, which your body releases during deep sleep to repair muscles, regenerate cells, and support immunity, is suppressed when insulin is elevated. If dinner happens close to bedtime, your body spends the night digesting instead of restoring, and growth hormone secretion is blunted. The cellular repair work your body is designed to do, every single night gets compromised. Over years and decades, this adds up. For older adults specifically, two concerns deserve special attention. First, protein absorption declines significantly with age. By your 60s, stomach acid and digestive enzyme output may be reduced to roughly 1/3 of what it was in your 20s, meaning you absorb less protein from each meal. Older adults also experience what researchers call anabolic resistance, a blunted muscle-building response to dietary protein. This is why distributing adequate, easily digestible protein across meals matters so much. Eggs, fish, tofu, and lean poultry are particularly well-suited choices. Current evidence suggests older adults benefit from approximately 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily, notably more than younger adults need. Second, nutrient deficiency is a genuine concern. In older populations, inadequate caloric and protein intake is already common, and this contributes directly to sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength. Sarcopenia increases fall risk, reduces independence, and is associated with higher mortality. This is precisely why the message today is not simply eat less, but eat smarter. Fewer, better-timed meals with higher nutritional density is a very different approach from skipping meals out of habit or restrictive thinking. What does a practical, science-informed eating pattern look like for older adults? Research suggests that keeping your eating window to roughly 11 or 12 hours, for example, between 7 in the morning and 7 in the evening, allows for natural overnight fasting while still accommodating 3 well-structured meals. This window gives your body approximately 12 hours each night without food, during which autophagy can begin its work, and insulin levels can fully normalize. For those who are healthy and working with their doctor's guidance, gradually narrowing this window further may offer additional metabolic benefits. But caution is warranted. A note of balance is important here. A 2024 analysis presented at a major cardiology conference suggested that very aggressive time-restricted eating windows of 8 hours or fewer might be associated with increased cardiovascular risk. In some populations, the science is still evolving and extreme approaches are not recommended, particularly for older adults without close medical supervision. What about breakfast? Research supports the value of a morning meal for cognitive function in older adults, with some studies linking regular breakfast skipping to faster long-term cognitive decline. The brain depends heavily on glucose, and after an overnight fast, a modest, protein-rich morning meal, eggs, a small bowl of oatmeal or warm tofu, helps re-establish metabolic rhythm without triggering a sharp blood sugar spike. Here is a practical 7-day approach to begin shifting your eating patterns gradually. In the first 2 days, simply observe and record when you eat every meal, every snack, every drink other than water. Most people are genuinely surprised at how many hours of the day food is entering their system. On days 3 and 4, practice moving dinner slightly earlier, even 30 minutes earlier than usual, and eliminate any food after that. On days 5 and 6, focus on the quality of each meal. Include a source of easily digestible protein at every meal. Choose complex carbohydrates over refined ones, and eat your vegetables before your grains and proteins to moderate blood sugar rise. On day 7, assess how you feel. Your energy levels in the morning, your sleep quality, your digestion, and your overall sense of physical comfort. The world's longest-lived populations, studied in communities with exceptionally high rates of healthy longevity, share several notable eating habits. They eat until approximately 80% full, a habit of moderation rather than feast. They eat their lightest meal in the evening and finish dinner early. They do not habitually snack between meals, and their diets are predominantly plant-based with moderate high-quality protein. None of this involves extreme fasting. It is simply a pattern that allows the body adequate rest between feeding periods. To close with the essentials, eat 3 well-composed, protein-inclusive meals at regular times, ideally earlier in the day. Reduce unnecessary snacking between meals to allow insulin to normalize. and autophagy to begin its work. Finish your last meal of the day at least 2 to 3 hours before bed to protect sleep quality and nighttime repair. And approach all of this in conversation with your physician, particularly if you take medications or manage any chronic conditions. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 still has remarkable capacity to respond to better habits. The science of aging makes one thing increasingly clear: how long you live without eating, not just what you eat, plays a significant role in how quickly your body ages. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful, please subscribe and share this with the older adults in your life, because this kind of information can genuinely make a difference.